Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and this is my presentation for PSM2, which is the title of my project is CarPool RestA. I'm Habibi Sadid. I'm the presenter of this presentation. So I would like to introduce to my project my CarPool RestA, which is about an application which serves a particular community within in a restricted area, meaning that the needs of a community in particular is served in terms of various factors. So let's proceed. So this is the title of my project for PSM1 and PSM2. It solves day-to-day problems near your vicinity. I'd like to extend my thanks to my supervisor and for helping me throughout this semester. And what are the objectives of my project, which I already did accomplish in my PSM1, but those were the key objectives. In PSM2, I added improvements to enhance my project. So what were the key objectives? The key objective was to serve the clients with on a priority basis. Okay, if somebody is having some urgent meetings, or if somebody is having some sort of emergency, then he will be able to notify the rider. And definitely one must be able then, based on the distance, the ride fare is calculated. So there is no such thing as we have in the grab, like in the peak hours in the grab, the ride fee is higher than the normal time. Means that regardless of the distance, you are going to be having, you will be having to pay a higher fare. This is not the case in carpool rest. The price is always fixed, and that means that when someone is in trouble, the ride sharing companies, unlike other ride sharing companies, this application is not going to take the undue advantage, and definitely area is going to be fixed within a radius specified. So these three things have been accomplished in PSM1. So, but apart from what improvements we have, we will be seeing in the next slide. So let us recap what we achieved in PSM1: booking orders based on priorities, calculate fares based on the distance, login registration module, so on and so forth. And definitely we developed two applications, one for the rider and one for the driver. And definitely in that, the idea was to keep the radius fixed, which we did accomplish in PSM1. Now, what are the improvements in PSM2? Radius now can be manipulated. It means that if someone is stuck in any particular area out of, and but the urgency might arrive, there could be some sense of emergency. Maybe that particular rider might not find any ride nearby, assuming that carpool rest A, this application is not there in that area. We assume that because this is a startup application, let's assume that somebody went into an area and in that area carpool rest A service is not available. So definitely he will need to extend the radius. So that is why, as a startup of the application, we are allowing user to extend the radius. Later on, if this application goes far beyond expectation, maybe this opportunity, this provision will not be there for the rider. It will be done by the admin. But as a startup application, we develop a simple interface for the riders, where the rider can extend the radius. User can also check whether the location so you fall within the given radius, meaning that user can scan the radius even if he doesn't prefer to see whether his location falls within the given radius or not. User wants to know that so and so, whether so and so location falls within so and so radius. So user can scan or kind of see whether so and so locations falls within so and so radius. So it's like kind of scanning the list of locations and display them in a list view. And then the most important thing that of this PSM tool, like if you can send the notifications to the nearest driver one, and then even if you send the notifications to the nearest driver, nearest drivers may not accept. So the notifications is going to go to the next driver, and the next driver going to accept the request, and then come to the rider to pick him up and then proceed to the destination point. All right, the demo of the project we will be doing. 51 locations were tested so far, out of which 21 locations that fall within 500 meters. If they fall within 500 meters, and they were tested if they fall within 1100-meter radius also. Some of them produced positive test cases, some of them produced negative test cases. So the intent was to produce negative test cases. The same locations were tested against 50 meters by reducing the length of the radius. So in this way, we can derive some positive test cases, and we can derive some negative test cases using the same locations. And secondly, 20 locations were tested against 1100 meters. I mean 20 locations that fall within 1100 meters. These locations were selectively chosen with knowing that these locations fall. We found from the uh, I mean internet or Google Maps that these locations do fall within 1100 meters. So these locations, the same locations, were tested against 500 meters and 1100 meters. If these locations fall within 500 meters, definitely they are going to fall within 500 and 1100 meters as well. It means all of these test cases will be positive. 10 locations falling within 500 meters will pass all the tests, because the other category of locations, we name this category of location test case A, test case B, test case C, respectively. So these 10 locations were named test case C. So test case C have passed all the test cases test case which in test cases. That means 21 locations that fall within 500 meters, they were named test case A. So test case A passed some test cases and failed some test cases. Test case B passed some test cases and failed some test cases. And test case C passed all the test cases. So as you can see the graph, untested region is that means that we did not test the radius beyond 5000 meters. So that is our untested region here, indicating that the maximum length of radius we used in our test cases was 5000 meters. In short, the first point deals with test case A, category A, test case category A. The second point deals with test case category C, and third point deals with test case second point deals with test case category B, and the third point deals with test case category C. So in this way, we designed our test cases. So I have covered this in my report, and so that the intent was to produce some positive test cases and some negative test cases. As we proceed, total number of test cases 170, number of past test cases 139. All these 39s are functionalities of the applications. All the functionalities, whether booking modules, whether deriving data from the API, all these passed the test. There was no problem at all. Login and registration modules, so on and so forth, were easy thing. I mean, were also tested, and I mean, it did not take much time. Were minor thing, and everything passed the test cases except when we manipulated the radius. Either we incremented the radius, either we decremented the radius. In those sorts of situations, we have seen failed test cases. So that is the main thing. So we used Google form to conduct a survey, and most of them said, 75% of the participants said that this application is user friendly and very effective, and 14% felt that both the idea and application are very new to them, and 11% suggested improvements. So that's all for my presentation parts. Now we will proceed to the demo in the next part of my presentation. Thank you. Mm. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is my demonstration from PSM2 project, and in this application, in this project, I have two types of application. One is for the rider, and another one is for the driver. So this is my riders application, and these are two are my drivers applications. In this demo, I'm going to demonstrate whether this application is able to riders application is able to send a request to the nearest driver, and whether, and also another module I developed for my PSM2 is whether if the rider is stuck in an area where he might need to he might need to go to a location, but the radius is limited, he might be able to manipulate the radius And besides that, I have also implemented a few features in the car registration page. Okay, first thing first, let's get started. um, let's say for example I want to go to the BB food court, but this area is not to be found because the radius by default is set to 50 meters. For the demo purpose I set it to 50 meters in the back end. So this rider might need to manipulate the radius, so he can scan the area. For example, first few keywords is enough, and actually then in 5 meters the radius is found, no. In 50 meters, whether this radius is found, no. In 500 meters, whether this radius is found, still no. Actually the it's from the rider's positions to the desired location is 4000 meters. Now it falls within the range restricted. Now we set the radius. The radius has been set, and now I can go to the drop off location. Before I go to the drop off location, there is no car on the map. Actually I need to open the driver's application, make two cars online, so two cars appears on the screen. I need to check which one of these is set to um, this one is in MMU. Okay, so this one is in MMU, information sector Malacca Bukit Burung. This is in MMU, and the other location I set, I think this one I set to Petronas Bukit Burung. Now actually MMU is nearer to, as compared to Petronas. So what will happen is that the MMU driver will um, receive the let me set it to, okay, 613A Jalan Delima. This location is also far away from MMU. So we can set this location for this driver, and then actually let's set it to Petronas, because otherwise the duration for the driver to reach the rider will be very high. Petronas, Bukit Beruang. Petronas, or another nearest place. Okay, let's try this one, Jalan. This is also not very far, I think. So let's set the location to this place. Once this happens, what I can do is that I will send the distance of the two cars. Yeah, it's near actually. So once this happen, I will set a ride request, send a ride request, maybe food court, and then mm so from emergency ride is price is always higher than the normal ride, and the distance is 5 kilometer. Okay, from the rider's position. So now if I send the request, and this driver is nearer, so it gets the notification first. So actually now I'm waiting for the next driver to request accept. Yes, actually this driver was nearer. Okay, so it rejected the request, so the next driver will receive the request. So BB food court. So right now these drivers, the rider's position, driver is in the right, the driver is coming. Actually this rider is, where is this rider right now? The rider is in um, um, information. Let me check where is that rider. I think is in information center. Okay, um, from so the driver will need to go to uh, information center. Well, wait, okay, this the driver is will need to go to information center. So let me reconfirm by setting the location here, and let me copy this location for the rider's position. Copy, and now first thing first, what this driver is going to do, the driver is going to go to the rider. So I need to play this route. Okay, and I need to play the route, start a route actually. So from this dilemma to rider's position, I paste it here, and I play it to 5x, and I select the route information center to this one. mm, let me check uh, information center to this one. Let me copy this. Oh, I already copied it. uh, and single point, let me start a route again here from Jalan Dilemma to West, and then I can, what I can do is Jalan Dilemma to, I can go to the rider's position which I copied and pasted here. So now let me play the route. I'm playing the route. It's very near to me. It just take 1 minute to reach the driver. Let me, or it might take more because it's going. It was near the destination, but from destination it needs to go to the rider's application. So that's why the timing is being changed at real time. So let's see. It should go to the it should go near the rider's position, and then the car should stop when once it has arrived. Then the car should stop there. So I change it to 5x? I think I yes. Yes, the rider has now reached the driver's position, and after that, it has stopped. So what will happen is that arrive and pick. When I inform the driver that I arrived to your position, so I will just simply click arrive and pick, and it says the driver has arrived. So right now, the driver is in information center. So I copy the location just not to make any mistake. I copy the location of the rider, and I paste it back here, and then the my location is going to be food court, BB food court. Yeah, that's my location, BB food court, and then the driver should start going to the food court, and after that it should click drive now. So once it's clicking drive now, it says reaching the destination. So I will be reaching the destination shortly. um, I need to wait a few moments. So now it is reaching it will be following the polyline, because the polyline two markers have been placed between the rider's position to the driver's position. So the two markers has been placed. So previously the car was following a route, shortest path. So it not always necessary it follows the polyline, but now it follows the polyline because this driver has first reached the riders. So that was, and then now it is going to go to the destined position. So 7 minutes to the destination. Yes, now it has reached the drivers. Now I would like to end the trip. The fare is RM10 and pay fare, and confirm cash received. And for the ratings feature, there is no ratings for this driver. So I just sorry, bad experience. Okay, average. Let me submit this ratings. So what happens? I need to, if I just refresh it, it will the information I have already gone offline here. Okay, now if I go to the ratings page, okay average, and the earnings page, I have the rides here, which is recorded here. This was my previous trip history. So now the same thing I will see in the riders page. Let me check. September 16, 2021, year 10 RM. So here also I have the same thing. Um, September 16, 2021, BB food code 10. So yeah, that's it. So now let me explore few more features for my application. So this is my riders application. Okay, and here I have the drivers application. I have the home page. Home page is the map, online visibility, and I can go online or offline. I go offline also. I can go offline also. And here is my profile page. Here is my ratings page, and here is my home page. And for the rider sides, I have the history page. I have the profile page. Okay, and I have the range of radius covered. I have this thing from the rider's side. So what we can do is yeah, that's all. So I log out from the driver. So just to recap, this is my earning page, this is my ratings page, this is my profile, and this is my home page. So that's all for the driver's applications. And just few seconds back I log out from this driver application just to show you the logout feature. I didn't log out of this because I was using this app, and this application was communicating with the rider app for a demo purpose. So that's it, madam, that's all. And rest is there in the rest. I try my best to cover all the features in my report in details, techniques, and whatever methods we have used to make this application. One more feature which I did not implement in my PSM1 is that I was using the I was registering the driver, but I was not using the car registration page. It is only a minor improvement, because those data were saved in a variable, so I was using that way. But now I can key in the car, I can register for the car myself. So as I log out of the driver's application, if I show you, if I log in to my if I register as a driver, let's say for example uh, uh, Rahman, this is my driver's name, and maybe I can key in a phone number for the rider, what do you call it, driver, and then I can use a valid password for the same driver. And then what I can do, I can register the account for this driver. And now this was my minor improvement. I was in PSM1, I was saving this data in variables, but now I can key in this data from the from the user interface. So the car model number should be P98. Sorry. Uh, uh, yeah, sorry. I actually it slept. The emulator. The car model number should be P90 P98M. The car number should be 985. I mean 53. And the what do you call it? The car color should be deep purple, for example. And then I can proceed to the registration page. And what can I do is let me the application will look at the position. So this is the home page of the application, and now when I click on the available now button, the car icon appears here. So actually I want to, for example, if I want to go to UTM, actually the UTM will not appear in the list, so I will need to manipulate the range, and I can do so here in this option. So if I search for UTM, UTM does not appear. So in 5 meter, UTM does not appear. In 50 meter, UTM does not appear. In 5 meter, UTM still does not lie within 500 meters, but in 5,000, UTM can be found in 5,000. This one, University Technical Malaysia, Malacca. Anyways, so oh sorry, I didn't set the radius for that. I forgot to hit the radius button. So five. Um, and then I can set the range specified. The specified area has been set, and then right now, then I can go to my search box and look for the same location, which is UTM. And now the University Technical Malaysia Melaka athletes. And now that I can book an emergency ride to UTM, and then you can see the ride is here. As I accept the ride request, so it shows me the rider's information, Asif Rahman, the car color, and then these. If I want, I registered using the number of the driver. You can see this number I just registered back. For the booking module, I already show the booking module. So if I book the UTM, it will take some time to reach there. I mean, this duration is going to be a bit higher. So I already demonstrated the booking module. Here I demo the I show you the new thing that I mean the new improvements in PSM2, which is the car registration page, and this is how the car is registered. And for the booking module, arrive and pick up, I already demo. So so far, this is the improvement for the car interface. So additionally, what I can do, I can um, uh, finish this ride, and the minimum ride fare is 2 by default, so I can submit the ratings. And additionally, I can log out of this application also. Yeah, that's it, madam. Thank you very much. That's all. So far I have these functionalities for both the rider application and the driver application. Thank you, madam. That's all.